All right, today we're going to talk about a huge shift in thinking. It's about how to stop being just, well, a consumer and start becoming a creator. It's a journey that can take you from nothing to everything, but it all kicks off with a simple, maybe even an uncomfortable truth.
And here it is. This is kind of the default setting for most people, right? You look around, see what everyone else is up to, what already exists, and you try to fit in. It feels safe, you know? It's the path of least resistance. But, and this is a big but, there's a huge problem with that path.
And this is where things get really interesting. See, the world, it just doesn't reward copies. It rewards invention. Why is that? Well, because creation is literally what pushes everything forward. Being a copy? Sure, that might be a strategy for survival, but it's absolutely not a strategy for success.
So, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you actually make that leap? How do you break out of that endless cycle of copying and start building something brand new, something that's truly yours? Well, let's break down the path, step by step. Okay, so first up, creators versus copies. It's all about the two paths you can take. And the answer really starts with a fundamental choice you have to make. You got to consciously decide which of these two paths you're going to walk. So you've got two types of people. On one side, you have the value consumers. These are the folks who, well, they take from the world. But on the other side, you have value creators. They're the ones who give something new to the world. And that's it. The whole journey from copy to creator, it all starts right there, by choosing to be a creator. It's an active decision you make to add value, not just use it up. All right, section 2. Think like a contrarian, because to change your life, you have to change your questions. So once you've made that commitment, once you've decided, okay, I'm going to be a creator, the next step is all mental. It's a huge shift. You have to learn to think completely differently. And you want to know the fastest way to change how you think? It's simple. Change the questions you ask yourself. This right here, this question is your key. Think about it. Most people are asking, what does everyone else believe? But a creator asks something totally different. What important truth do I see that almost everyone else is missing? And that, right there, is the starting point for literally every great invention, every disruptive company you can think of.
And this really highlights the core difference in how people operate. The ordinary mindset, it's all about following the rules, asking for permission, waiting for that green light. But the founder mindset, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about creating new rules. It doesn't wait around for permission, it just builds first. It's about acting despite the fear. This is the massive shift from just playing the game to actually designing the whole game yourself.
So, you need to start asking some different questions. Really challenge your own assumptions, like why do I have to follow the same career path as everybody else? Who made the rule that says success has to take years and years? And seriously, who are you waiting for permission from to just start? The answer, almost every single time, is nobody. Okay, on to section 3, inventing your own game. This is where we stop competing and start creating. Because this whole new way of thinking, it leads to a really powerful strategy. Instead of trying to compete in these crowded, crazy games that somebody else made up, you just invent your own.
And there's actually a pretty clear progression here, an evolution of how you create real value. First, you're a learner. You're just soaking up skills. Then, you become a maker. You're actually building something new. Then, and this is so crucial, you become an owner of what you built. And finally, you become a leader, someone who can scale that thing way beyond just yourself.
And all of this leads to a really powerful concept, monopoly. Now hold on, not in that old school crush the competition kind of way. We're talking about a creator's monopoly. It means you're offering something so unique that you literally have no direct competition. People don't choose you because you're the cheapest, they choose you because there is no other you. You basically created a category of one. And really, this is the core idea right here. Greatness isn't achieved by fighting it out with everyone else. It's achieved by inventing the game itself. So stop wasting all that energy trying to be just a little bit better than the next person in some crowded field. Instead, take that energy and create a whole new field where you're the only one playing.
Let's move on to section 4, your unstoppable toolkit. We're talking about the mindsets and tools of a creator. So, the question is, how do you actually equip yourself for this journey? Let's dive into the unstoppable toolkit. These are the absolute essentials every creator has to have.
First things first, you need to become what's called anti-fragile. And this is more than just being tough or resilient. See, resilience is about surviving pressure and bouncing back to where you were. Anti-fragile is different. It's about taking the hits, the shocks, the pressure, and using that energy to actually get stronger.
So how do you do that? You turn pressure into power. You actively transform it. Rejection? That's not a setback, it's fuel. Failure? It's not the end, it's just data. Stress? That's how you build strength. And when other people doubt you, that becomes your greatest motivation. It's like the alchemy of creation, turning lead into gold.
Next up in the toolkit, leverage. These are the tools that are like force multipliers. They amplify your effort. We're talking about things like code, AI, networks, capital, people. These tools right now allow a single person to have the kind of impact that would have taken 100 people just a generation ago. It's wild. We're basically living in the era of the solo empire.
And the final piece of your toolkit? It's patience. Seriously, thinking in decades wins over thinking in days. It's a genuine superpower in today's world. While everyone else is scrambling for quick wins, optimizing for the next 24 hours, you can be building something that truly lasts, all by focusing on the decade, not just the day. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, Design Your Future. Because creation is destiny. When you have these mindsets and these tools, you can finally stop letting the future just happen to you, and you can start building it yourself, brick by brick. So what's the creator's formula for wealth? Well, step 1 is this. Identify a problem you feel deeply. It starts right here, not with some generic market opportunity, but with a real problem that you feel on a personal level, something you are genuinely, deeply obsessed with solving. Okay, from there, the next steps are super clear. Step 2, solve that problem uniquely. Do it in a way no one else has. Step 3, scale it with technology so your solution can reach far and wide. And step 4, and this part is absolutely critical, own equity. Own a piece of the value you're creating. Don't just trade your time for a paycheck.
It really all boils down to this powerful equation. Wealth equals impact times ownership times time. Look, real wealth isn't about grinding yourself into the dust working harder. It's about maximizing your impact, owning the result of that impact, and then giving it time to compound. That's it. That's the master formula.
So as we start to wrap this up, let me just leave you with this challenge. Think about your biggest dream right now. Got it? Okay. Does it scare you? Even a little bit? If the answer is no, then it's time to dream bigger.
And finally, I want you to remember this. One idea born in silence can change the world loudly. This whole journey, from nothing to everything, it doesn't start with a flashy announcement or a giant team. It starts with you, in silence, with one single, powerful idea. Your job is just to find it, to build it, and then to share it with the world.